And welcome to Classic City Blue.
I love what I do.
Chief was very much involved into the neighborhood.
Finding your own way of policing and having confidence in it.
Handle the basics.
How do people treat you different?
Answer your calls.
You have a bigger impact than you think you do.
What kind of effect would it have on you, your family, or better yet, the agency?
And welcome to Classic City Blue, a podcast that takes you behind the scenes of ACCPD. I'm your host, Lieutenant Enrique Rivera, and today's special guest is none other than Sergeant Brian O'Neill with the Property Crimes Unit. Brian, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for coming. So, how long have you been in the Property Crimes Unit altogether? I know that you are now Property Crimes Sergeant, but you were there before. So, roughly, how long were you in the private?
I think going on about 4 years now. So I was a detective for about 2 years, and then when I got promoted, I went back to patrol. And after about 3 years there, I got transferred back to property crimes as their sergeant.
Okay. Now, what interested you into property crimes? Was it just like an opportunity, like this spot was open, or did you have a knack for it?
At first, it was the opportunity, but once I got in there, I realized all the different crime types that unit has to investigate. And it can take you anywhere. So the unit, investigates property crimes as well as financial crimes. So when I was a detective, I primarily focused on financial crimes for the first year, and then I started branching out into property crimes. So I got to see both halves of that. So
now you mentioned different crimes, and you said financial crimes. What other crimes does the Property Crimes Unit investigate?
I think we have 11 different crime types, if I'm remembering correctly. So we do anything from entering autos to burglaries, generic thefts such as shopliftings or packages off your porch, all the way up to the financial crime aspect, where we've had multi-million-dollar embezzlement cases, FTC frauds, scams. Just a lot of different crime types.
So, if you had to pick one, which one is the easiest to investigate, and which one is the more complex one to investigate?
Easiest is probably going to be a shoplifting, right? Because a lot of the stores have their own surveillance or might have their own loss prevention that knows your repeat offenders that come in and out. And so they may give you a case that's already finished and it just needs law enforcement eyes put on it. So that's pretty easy, right? Not so time consuming. Your financial crimes, where someone might get defrauded and they may not be in the same state or country, and those can be very difficult, very time consuming.
Now, you said out of state. What kind of relationship do we have, or does the United States have, with outside entities? Do most of them play fair? Like, are they willing to work with us, or is it like just hitting a wall?
It just depends on where that crime or that suspect may be or where it's committed, because a lot of places they want to help, but if it doesn't fall in the United States, then they don't have to adhere to any of our laws. So we're at the mercy of their laws and any cooperation that they want to provide to us.
What is the new hot topic as far as property crimes? I know while I was there, we had, the scams going on, and it seemed to be in an uprise. Is that still the case, or something else took its place?
No, I'd say it's probably still the hottest topic because it's a good money maker. We have a lot of victims who are being deceived and giving away thousands and thousands of dollars. As you know, as the former lieutenant of the unit, it may be a small scam or it could be a large-scale scam. You don't know if someone's going to lose $100 or $100,000 or more. It just depends on their victim and how well they targeted them.
Now, give me a scenario. What is the most common form of the scam? What are they saying? What are they offering that entices people to be victims of this crime?
Well, I think they pull on the heartstrings a lot of the time. So more recently, we had a case where a lady was at home and she got a phone call and she thought it was her daughter and said, "I've been in an accident. The police responded and I've been arrested. I'm in jail and I need an attorney. And I have an attorney set up. I need you to go to the bank and pull out $12,000, and this representative is going to come and pick it up. And so someone showed up to her house after she got the money, and she provided them $12,000 cash. And they left, and she got another phone call. Said, hey, the attorney needs $12,000 more. And so then someone else showed up to her house, and yet again, there goes another $12,000. It wasn't until after that that she realized, hey, something's not right, and actually called her daughter off of her cell phone. And her daughter answered and said, Mom, I'm fine. I haven't been in an accident. I haven't been in jail. So it was just a spoofed phone number, and that's all it took.
So would your recommendation to be, and I know another scam was, hey, this is the police, we got a warrant for you. What would your recommendation be as far as, okay, I'm calling Brian and say, hey, been in an accident, need $12,000. What would your recommendation to the public be as far as to try not to be a victim of these crimes?
Just slow down, verify what you're being told. So if someone's calling you and saying that you have an arrest warrant, feel free to hang up and call your local police department. They will happily tell you if you have an arrest warrant. You provide them with your information, and they can check that anytime, day or night. They're not going to ask for gift cards. They're not going to ask for money. And if it's someone calling and saying, a family member's been arrested or hurt or in the hospital, again, sounds like an emergency. They're pulling on your heartstrings, but just slow down. Verify the situation, call that family member. If you can't reach them, call other family members that may be able to reach them or may have more information on that situation. So slow down, verify.
Okay. Now, Athens is a very college-driven town, right? Do our college students fall just as much as victim as our residents?
On occasion, I would say they fall more for the law enforcement scams as opposed to the scams where they're targeted for, a family member being hurt or something like that. They generally don't have as much money or access to as much money as someone, in their 50s or 60s. So they'll get targeted generally for the law enforcement scams because no one wants a warrant. No one wants to go to jail.
I think I want to touch up on giving your phone to strangers. I know that we work some cases where downtown somebody would ask for your phone. They would go on your Zelle accounts and wire them themselves money. So how do, obviously it sounds like an easy fix, but how easy or how hard would it be for us to get those funds back? And is your ultimate advice, don't give your phone to people?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have security features set up where it uses, your Face ID or fingerprint, something like that to protect those specific apps, don't give your phone out. If someone needs to call someone, say, hey, what's the number? I'll call them. There's also numerous businesses downtown that they can walk in and say, can I use a phone? There's a police department downtown. They can go in there. But yeah, don't give your phone out because a lot of times we'll see where they'll transfer money, unprotected app, and then they'll delete the app. And so you're not seeing that information, and money's generally gone.
Okay. So, and cell phones and technology is a big part of where we live nowadays. I mean, back in the days, I had a flip phone. I can text. It was the most. Now, a cell phone's a mini computer. Where do you see the technology that we have now aiding the property crimes unit?
So, there's a lot of different ways. Burglaries used to be very prevalent, right? But now you don't need to leave your home to scam someone or get caught in the act, right? But they still happen. We had one at Earth Fair the other day, and that suspect was caught. But technology-wise, surveillance systems, what's in place now, whereas before, it'd be grainy video at best. Now these stores have some excellent video. Suspects carrying information on them that they don't even realize. Apple AirTags, things like that, cell phones, all that stuff's being tracked. So
now, and I know that thanks to Nick Barker, we have the capability of using Ring cameras, right? Is that an app that we use in partnership with?
So the most we can do is request video. Mm-hmm. We can't log in and see anyone's video from their house. There's no application or website where I can just log in and see everyone in the neighborhood's cameras, right? The most I can do is send out a law enforcement request to a geographical area, and Ring will send a request to them, say, hey, law enforcement in your area is looking for some assistance. If you have video during this time frame you'd like to share, let them know.
Okay. Do you think that most of these crimes also being committed is it real planned? Like, is it a sophisticated plan, or is it just kind of a spur of the moment crime? You know, what is going into these newer crimes that are coming up?
So a lot of it, I would say, is planned. I don't think there's a ton of, just crime of opportunities occurring. They still do occur. You know, if you have 12 packages on your porch and you haven't picked your mail up in a couple days, they're probably going to get gone, right? Just someone cruising down the neighborhood. But other than that, most things are generally planned. They have an idea of a location they want to go to. The burglary from Earth Fair the other day, the suspect didn't even live in our county, right? He traveled here with intent and with purpose and targeted that location.
So are we having people from outside of the county come here more to commit crimes, or is it still very scarce?
It just depends, right? I mean, with this being a college town and a transient area where you come and go for a few years and then leave, and then also very dense population, people moving to the outskirts or surrounding counties, but then, commuting to work here. It's hard to tell, who's targeting Athens, right? Where does the criminal element live? Among us,
Now, when should somebody report the crime? When does it become a crime? Because like obviously like a fraud or a scam call, in reference to the lady who lost all the money because of her daughter, had she not lost that, right? Had she said, no, I'm not gonna pay that, should she call us because she got the call, or at what point do they need to call the police?
Yeah, and I would say in that situation, even if she did not lose any of the money, let us know it's occurring. Let us know, but also let your friends and family and your neighbors know as well to try to prevent them from being targeted. But if I don't know about the newest trends and scams, it's hard when we goes out to these community events to educate people on that. So I would say if you feel that you have been victimized or targeted, call us. It may not have to be on a 911 line. It can be on the non-emergency line, but call. Let us know.
So, would you say that if you had to pick a particular crime, right? Let's say stolen vehicle. Who is more who's more of a victim of that crime? As far as, are the college kids getting their cars broken into or taken more than residents, or are the residents of Clarke County being more victimized for those types of crimes?
Again, with an influx of students, I think it just depends, right? What we're seeing is people are just leaving their car keys in there, right? That hasn't been safe to do in a very long time. If you leave your vehicle keys in there and it's unlocked, it's probably going to get gone. But generally, we have a good ability to recover those, right? But yeah, I mean, why give someone the ability to take one of your largest investments in life?
Now, like you said, we have an influx of people yearly, right? Some people come for school, some people come from work as we grow, because Athens is growing much more bigger. What recommendations would you give, easy recommendations, would you give for people to not be a victim of property crimes?
Just be observant. I mean, there's small things you can do. Security cameras nowadays don't cost much at all. You can put them in areas. They don't have to be hidden. Let the folks who may be targeting you know that you have cameras, because I'm going to move on, right? Lock your vehicle. Take expensive items out. Don't leave them in plain view. Don't leave firearms in your vehicle. You can bring them into your home. Lock your doors. Lock your windows. If you're going to be going away for an extended period of time, call up the police department and request a house check. Let your neighbors know. They can watch your house as well. Just small little things. I mean, people don't need to be in fear that crime is taking over Athens, because that's certainly not the case. We've been trending downward year after year. So just small things. Be observant to protect yourself.
Okay. So what's next in your career for you? You know, you're the sergeant for property crimes. Is any other particular branch that you would like to go to, any other division, or is this where you want to be at?
I'm very happy where I'm at. I still have a lot to learn. You know, I've only been back in the unit for going on 2 years. There's still things I need to accomplish, more training. There's a lot of things I'd still like to do. But I always have the love for patrol and being on the road. So they can send me wherever they need me. I'm just happy to be here.
Now, if you started all over again, right, day one, would you go the same path you're doing now?
Yeah.
Would not deviate anything?
I don't think so. I stayed on patrol for almost 8 years and had a lot of fun, and then went into investigations and got to experience that before I even tried to apply for any supervision. And then once I got that, you know, it's hard to come back from that. So have your fun up front, and then when you're ready, promote.
So what does Brian O'Neill do away from work? Congratulations on you, baby.
Yeah.
My favorite person in the world. I got to help pick the name. What are hobbies that you do outside of this job? What do you like to do?
Right now, anything outside, not just because it's freezing cold, but I have 2 young children and 1 very young. And so anytime we get the opportunity to go outside, go to the park, go for a walk, Fort Yago, anything like that, just be outside.
Now, you're not a Georgia native, correct? No. Where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in Michigan. I moved here when I got out of college. I was 23 years old. So I've been down here for over a decade now. I've assimilated.
I got one last question for you, and I've asked mostly everybody. So, as a sergeant, you know, you've obviously made it through the ranks. If you saw day one Brian O'Neill, what would be your advice to him?
Day one, Brian O'Neill. Just stay healthy, stay mentally healthy. You know, let the stress roll off. Just know that it's going to get easier every day, hopefully. You know, when you first start, you could not be any more excited, but you know nothing. And then you get out of the police academy and you know something, but you've experienced nothing. So then you go through field training and you're starting to put all that together, right? So give yourself time to succeed. You know, hopefully you have some good training officers, and then you've set up some good, healthy skills and everything like that can carry you the rest of your career.
Awesome. Brian, thank you for being a guest today on Classic City Blue. And that wraps our episode.